Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer. In this video I planned to do my first to be read list video, but then I took a look at my shelves and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. My shelves were so messy, they're all out of order for most of them. I do have some authors in order, but you know what I've done for those authors? I've taken a lot of them off because I want to go through all those books again and work out which ones I want to keep. I've got books everywhere. I've got too many books for my shelves. So I decided I really can't do a to be read list per se. So I've scrapped the whole idea of the to be read list video and I'm calling this video Project Bookshelf. I need to get my bookshelves in order. I took some photos of my bookshelves, not every part of my bookshelves because that'd be a bit too embarrassing, but just certain parts. I need help to get these cleaned up. What I'm going to do on my end, I'm going to read through as many as I can. I'm even going to reread books that I've read before because I've got a lot of books sitting there that I read 15, 20 years ago, some even more than 20 years ago, and I haven't gone back and read them again. So I'm wondering, what's the point of keeping books there if you haven't read them again in that long? So some of my favorite authors that I've liked through the last 20 or so years, I'm pulling those books off the shelves and I'm going to reread them and work out which I want to give away to friends, find someone else who wants to read them, and which I want to keep. That's what I'm going to do on my end. On your end, you can offer me suggestions on how people should be organising their bookshelves. Give me all the tips. I will see if I can make it work on my shelves. I'm warning you though, I've got too many books for my shelves, so it may take a while before I can take your tips and put them into practice. I've picked 3 authors that I've collected a lot of books from over the last 20 or so years. I've taken those books all off my shelves. I'm going to read through each of those first. That's step 1. I will be interspersing those with other books. It'll be a sort of a trying to get rid of books but gaining books in a way. That's part of my problem. I used to go to book sales a lot and I'm planning to in the future as well. And charity book sales, they're very addictive and it's very easy to walk out of them with too many books, especially when books are $1 and $2 each. I've been known to go in there and in 2 hours spend $150. That could be 150 books if you're buying all paperbacks because it's the hardcovers that are $2 in those book sales. That's a lot of books and I've done that quite a few times. I've got to stop doing that. I don't have the space. You know that saying, keep 30 books on your shelf only? I used to think that was crazy, but at the moment, I'm kind of thinking that may be a good idea because I have got a problem with having too many books and I need to make a change. So this is my attempt, my first step at making that change. Let's take a look at the 3 authors that I'll be reading through first. Okay. The first author is Richard Laymon. I can't hold on to all the books that I own from him in one go. Here's the first lot. So I think there's about maybe 10 books here. That's the first lot of Richard Laymon that I have to read through and decide which I want to keep. Alright, here's Richard Laymon, pile 2. I need to work my way through all of these. I think there's maybe 10 here. Some of them have more than one book. Some of them are omnibus editions from Richard Laymon. So I'm going to have my work cut out for me just with one author. So okay, you may be thinking 2 piles of Richard Laymon books isn't that bad. Some people have a lot more than that of their favourite authors. Let's have a look at the second author that I've chosen to go through on my shelves. That is Dean Koontz. So I can't hold all the books up at once. I'll have to do this in a few piles, so bear with me. Dean Koontz, pile 1. So there's 6 books in this pile that I have to go through. Let's check the other pile. Okay, Dean Koontz, pile 2. So I think there's 8 books in this pile. There's one of his Frankenstein books, the Frankenstein series, and I've read a few of those, and I think the one here is book 4. I may read the first 3 books. I think I've lent them out, so I do have a few Dean Koontz books that I have lent out to people. Maybe it's a good idea just to say, keep them. Make a few people happy. They can have some gifts. I don't know. I'll think about that. Let's go with pile 3. Okay. Dean Koontz, pile 3. This pile's a bit heavy. And one of these is an omnibus with 3 books in it. So 3, 4, 10 books in there. And I did have one turned around the wrong way. So I'll just pick that up so I can show you. Okay. That's the 3rd pile of Dean Koontz. One more pile coming up. Okay. Dean Koontz, pile 4. So again, there's 7 books in this pile. So I haven't counted them all, to be honest, as I've been holding them up. So I think there's probably 30 books or so from Dean Koontz on my shelves to go through. Some of them I may keep, especially his early books. I really prefer Dean Koontz's early works. Some of the later books, I'm not sure. I'll just read once maybe and then find somebody else who wants them. Okay, for the start of Project Bookshelf, we've gone through 2 authors. Now for the 3rd author that I've collected books of for the last 20 or so years. I have to go through these books and find out which I want to keep. This author is Stephen King. Let's start with pile 1. This pile of books is going to be really heavy. Let's see how we go. So I hope you can see them all. It's quite difficult to get them all on the camera. I think there's 9 books in this pile. So I have to go through all these. The top one, this is an omnibus edition that I did get at a charity book sale, and there's 4 books in here. It's the Backman books. This one has The Long Walk and 3 others. Okay, Stephen King, pile 2. This pile has 3 of the books of his that I like the most. Rose Madder, Dolores Claiborne, and Misery. I really like those 3 books, so I'm guessing at this stage that when I reread them, I'll probably keep them. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. Just depends on how I feel with my bookshelves. Stephen King, pile 3. Quite a few books here, 8 books again. This pile's got The Talisman, which I do enjoy. I'm quite interested to read that one again. It's got It, of course. And look, it's a good book, but I don't know if it's one of my favourites. Well, the latest movies of It weren't my favourites. I didn't find them that good at all. But let's see if I enjoy the book again this time round. Definitely do a video on it. But let's go with pile 4. Let's go with the last pile, Stephen King, pile 4. This pile includes Bag of Bones, Dreamcatcher, and Desperation. They are 3 Stephen King novels that I really did enjoy. 3 authors, a lot of books there. I've got to get through them. I've got to decide what to keep on my shelves. If I don't, I think I'm just going to go crazy because I want to get more books because there's more books out there. And I gave up going to the last charity book sale, and the last one before that was closed because of COVID. So I really need to get back. I'm desperate to get back to one of those book sales again, but I can't go back until I clear more books from my shelves. I've got to start, that cycle, get them out, bring them in, get them out, bring them in. What's that movie? Build it and they will come. Need to do that, but I need the space first. Hopefully I can get my shelves sorted, tidied up. Project Bookshelf starts on this video. I'll do an update on Project Bookshelf maybe in a month's time. Maybe a monthly update is a good idea, just to see how I'm going, how I'm getting it cleaned up. If you have any tips, let me know. Always looking for more tips on how to sort my bookshelves, and I bet there are a lot of people out there who may want the same tips. If you want to see how I'm tracking with Project Bookshelf, check out my channel and subscribe. I think this is going to be a fun series of videos.